welcome to the Table Rant, and that's not how I start this. I haven't done this in so long. How do we start the? How do we start?
You say, "Welcome to the Table Rant. I'm Chris. This is Mia."
Is that how we do it? Doesn't feel right.
That's what you do.
Oh, okay. Well. Welcome to the Table Rant. I'm Chris. This is Mia, and today we're gonna try and answer the question on if Bohemian Rhapsody bit the dust. And easy answer, I don't think it did. I think it was solid. Easy answer. I mean,
yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good. It was a good movie. Definitely worth my time.
Yeah. Sorry, watching football and I just seen something that hurt my feelings. I thought, all in all, I thought it was a good movie, but it did have its faults. I felt like the pacing was kind of all over the place. Like it was like really quick, and then it would stay on one little section for a very long time, and then we kind of jump back to being really quick, and then it stayed on one section for a very long time. So I thought, all in all, they told a good story. It just, I felt like the story kind of was a little bit rushed, and it had a lot of moments where I was just like, okay, really, is that how it really happened? Like when he was laying in the bed. Oh, this is a spoiler. This is gonna be a spoiler.
As always, spoiler reviews.
This review is gonna have spoilers. Like when he was laying in the bed and he reaches back and he starts playing on the piano, and it's the what is it? What is it called? When you play on the piano, what's that phrase called? I don't know. He was playing Bohemian Rhapsody on the piano.
I'm not a musician.
Yeah, well, he was playing Bohemian Rhapsody on the piano, and I was just like, I was like, really? Is that really how that really happened? Or when
what would you call it? The chords? That's a good question. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. And then when old boy was playing the bass for
Another one by Sue.
Exactly. I was like, is that really how they came about? I mean, if that's really how it came to pass, then that's cool. But it was just like, okay, really, is that really how they did it?
But the thing, so I can see what you're saying in regards to one with the piano, but I didn't feel that way when he was playing. Now that's actually probably chords. When he was playing for Another One Bites the Dust, because he had already gave them the music for it. So when they were like, "Oh, did you write that?" And he was like, "Yeah, and if you come on, like we can do the song."
But what bothered me about it is not necessarily that he had already did it, but he started doing it and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's hard." It's like that doesn't happen in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I mean, it's a movie. We can only put in so much.
True. And that it just kind of made it like, okay, really. It reminded me of like Straight Outta Compton, where at the beginning of the movie, Dr. Dre is what was it at the beginning? He's playing the beat for Nothing But a G Thing, and then Snoop Dogg walks in and just starts rapping the perfect.
That was so not at the beginning.
Yeah, it was toward the middle.
Definitely.
It just bothered me when we were just playing around and he made the beat for Nothing But a G Thing.
Well, my thoughts about the movie, I definitely noticed very quick that it wasn't a Queen biopic.
No.
As much as, or if some of you say biopic, whatever you choose.
No, it was more Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, it was definitely more geared towards about his life. Like it included them, and then he was the focal point. It was
his life with Queen, because it wasn't about his life. It was just like his life as a Queen musician. So I guess it is more of a Queen biopic, but it was more focused on him. Yeah. So it was kind of weird, like.
But I guess it made sense for it to be that way. Because not to diss any of the other members, because I definitely feel the musicians are important. But they went on to lead what you would want your life to be. You have your marriage, you have a family.
Right.
So
Kids.
I'm not gonna say they didn't face any other trial or tribulation, because I don't know. But I guess it did make sense, because he was the only one that was still, I guess, trying to figure it out.
See, and that I felt like the movie, did a decent job of showing like he has everything he ever always wanted, but he's always looking for a family. He's always looking to be accepted. He's always looking for approval, and he just never really came to find that. And they did a good job of showing it. But to your point, can we like? I mean, of course, we're I don't know if you've noticed so far, we're about 7 minutes in, but we're black, so Queen wasn't really big in our houses, so I might be able to name the band. It's Freddie Mercury, Brian May, John Taylor,
John Deacon,
and
Roger Taylor.
Okay, I knew there was a Taylor. So the fact of the matter is, we didn't really grow up on Queen as much as some might actually.
I know the big songs.
Yeah, I know the songs.
I know
sure.
the big songs, but I definitely don't know the band. But in my defense, or in most people's defense, it's a lot of bands that I grew up on that I don't know those people's names either.
You know what?
So,
that is a good point, because
at the end of the day, you just need to know the song.
Yeah, well, I mean, or the music for that matter.
The music. I need to be able to know it. What if I just hear the music and not the words, and vice versa.
Yeah. So I thought, back to like how the movie, like, was it a good movie or not? I thought that it's entertaining for sure. It wasn't like, a lot of times you see a biopic. A lot of times it's like, okay, it's sagging, get to the point, get to the. I never felt like that. I felt like, and I guess that kind of goes back to the pacing, like how, and I want to make it clear at the beginning when I said the pacing was kind of off. I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. It just kind of is like, if you're not ready for that, then it can throw you off. And in this case, it wasn't a bad thing because it kept the action. It kept the action fluid. It kept the action kind of like, okay, I'm not bored yet. And when I first saw it was like, was it 2 hours and 30 minutes, 215 minutes, something like that. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a long ass movie. And I didn't feel that.
It was worth the time.
Solid.
I think they did a good job of making you fall in love with, I don't want to call them the characters, the people, the members of the band.
Yeah. And a great job of making you want to hate Freddie Mercury.
I think they also, they did a good job of making sure that those hits that we all know were there. The end definitely made me like feel something, especially because they were showing the what was her name? Mary? Mary, they were showing her and her, I guess, husband now, or boyfriend, and then Freddie's boyfriend at the time. They were showing like them feel emotional about the moment, which also made me feel like, oh. So they did a good job. I feel like pulling at your heartstrings here and there, but I think it made me feel like I know who they are as artists, at least.
I think the guy that played Freddie Mercury, his name is Rami Malek, and it's something about his eyes during the Live Aid concert, like
this.
They told him his eyes told a story, like he's playing a guy who knows that this is the last time I'm ever going to perform in a crowd this large. He knows, and it's not because they don't have the hits. It's not because they don't have the fans. It's not because people don't care about them. It's because he knows that his time is limited. Because spoiler alert, if you don't know about Freddie Mercury, he's dead.
And died the day after you were born.
A year and a day after.
A year and a day after you were born.
So, and he died from AIDS, unfortunately. And
pneumonia.
Right. You
AIDS.
You don't necessarily die from AIDS. AIDS just causes you to get Anyway, I think that they did a good job of capturing his emotions in that situation, because having AIDS is scary now, but
back then,
most times we don't even get to the point of having AIDS as quickly as they did back then. Now we have ways to like prevent it. Of course it's still scary, but it's like you can have HIV and AIDS and you're good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's at that point in time, if you had AIDS or HIV, it was like fuck. Like,
well, at that point in time, it still also was known as the gay man's disease, and they weren't even considering the fact that it had nothing to do with just being a gay man. Like,
yeah, they didn't know. Yeah. They just, and then kind of found out you can get it from having sex with either partner, or blood transfusion, or drugs. They just didn't know, and and I think they did a good job of showing, or Rami Malek did a good job of coming. First off, I thought he looked like Freddie Mercury.
Before you veer too far though, because you did mention something I thought was great, because you're right. During that whole scene where they do this last concert, they do a lot where they're taking time to like focus in on
his face,
like here though, because a lot of times his eyes are like this, and it looks like he's having a profound moment, like he's noticing something. I mean, personally, at one point I was like, man, he makes me not feel so bad that my eyes are big because he's huge too.
Oh my God!
But
I'll make sure you feel bad about that.
I'm good with them, but they did do really good at taking time to tap into that, and I did love the fact that his band still remained family to him. They weren't like, oh God, you got AIDS, I can't deal with you, or judging him because of his sexuality. Like I love that they still, and I hope maybe that wasn't included because that's true, and not because they just wanted to omit it. I love that they made him still feel included.
Also, this is a table rant, so I gotta give a rant. All you people on the internet complaining that, oh, it didn't show his gay side enough. It showed his gay side pretty goddamn well, in my opinion. It showed a lot of gay shit. They may not have shown a dick going in the ass, but they showed some gay shit. Not that I'm saying it's a bad thing. I thought it was tasteful. I thought it was They did
enough to make sure that you were well aware of what was and who he was, whether it was a look or a linger or they did enough. And they showed him in a gay club as well.
They showed him kissing guys. What more did you really want? I think people wanted more of like the show that they wanted him.
Is that what people are saying right now about this?
Yeah, they were complaining about it wasn't showing his relationships enough. But it wasn't about his relationships. It was about the music. It was about the time period. It was about Queen.
What does that look like? Are they looking for holding hands? I mean, honestly, I feel like I don't think the movie was supposed to be about the fact that he was a gay man.
It really wasn't. And
yes, that's part of who he is. I'm not saying take it away, but I'm saying the movie was supposed to be about him as a band member, and I think they did a good job of making sure to show that they're all there with their wives, and then here he is with
chasing guys.
Yeah,
and in real life, he had relationships with women as well.
Because if that's the case, they didn't show a good job of the other ones really having an intense relationship.
No, not at all. They didn't.
So I think they did a good job.
Yeah, he had relationships with women, but I think those were more of a beard than anything else. Because I think more than anything, Freddie Mercury wasn't a gay man more than he was a conflicted man. He just wanted to please people, but couldn't figure out how to please himself. And couldn't figure out a way to find his own happiness. Couldn't find a way to... He was like one of those people that are always chasing after something.
I think he was a gay man because he decided
he was a gay man. I'm saying he's more than that, though.
With a man. But I will say that I do think that Mary was like the one thing that made him feel like home or whole or complete. And without her, like that's when it seemed like everything really just started to spiral beyond like... his control. So I was glad when she read him in the rain.
Right. And I guess you have to make somebody a villain in every story. Oh boy. Excuse me.
Paul?
Oh boy, that was kind of his boyfriend, kind of his manager, kind of his bodyguard, kind of his handler, kind of his booty go-getter. He did everything for him, basically. I guess they set him up to be the antagonist of the story. I don't know if necessarily he was the antagonist or not, but
that's what it seemed like because when fame is coming at you fast, you need somebody in your corner to remind you to keep your feet on the ground, and he was helping to just keep on lifting him higher and higher as he was getting higher and higher.
Yeah, right.
And
I think they had a good line in that when he said, when you're truly rotten, you start feeling the fruit flies coming for you, and that's basically what he was, bringing people around him that just want something or just want to be in the presence of Freddie Mercury, bringing people around him that are gonna give him drugs or whatever. They did a good job of like showing that he was doing drugs, but it wasn't one of those movies where it's like, oh, he has a serious problem with drugs.
Well, I think they did a good job of just showing the evolution of him, who he was from before he got into the group to his transition in the group and him being himself, and then him slowly, I guess having demons on his back with drugs, because I guess that's what they call it, and then him realizing at this point it's me, like I can't blame anybody else because I'm now making the choices to do these things. And to show like that full, I definitely appreciated that, to see like him come back around full circle and decide to come back to who he knew that he was, or to find home again.
Yeah, and that was his band. And oh look, we got a Bailey sighting. Hey Bailey. She knows she ain't supposed to be up at this table. But I want to go back to my motherfucking rant. People, internet, y'all have to learn, man. Not every story has to be about whatever group you're in. And say you're a black person. Not every story has to be catered to you being black. You say you're a gay person. Not every story has to cater to you being gay. Like that's what I was trying to say earlier. Freddie Mercury was a gay man, yes, but he's more than a gay man. He's a gay man that was bigger than being his sexuality. He made music that's timeless. Like, I'm pretty sure if you dropped another one Bites the Dust in the club right now, it would ring off. I'm sure it would. Just the bass line is.
Rock, you have pretty much every sporting events.
Exactly.
So
I just think that more than anything, we gotta stop trying to force this acceptance of everything. Like some stories, if in a different story, him being gay would have worked if they were trying to show a Freddie Mercury, like his life story.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, this wasn't really his life story. It was the Queen story and Freddie Mercury as part of Queen.
I want to say one more thing because I know we do need to transition. But the another thing that I love that they showed in this movie was that his bandmates, I feel like they really took care of him.
Yeah.
Especially Curls Brian. Yeah. I feel like he was like the voice of reason, even when they didn't want it. I love that it just seemed like, every time like he was getting lost, like he was taken care of by them. Like I love that. So I love that they showed that.
So we almost out of time. So I do want to make a mention. When we were in the movie theater, I was like, let me remind you why that's funny. When they were performing, showing the record, whoever the executive was, for the first time, they're showing him Bohemian Rhapsody. And he was like, this doesn't make sense. Kids want to be able to turn their music up and bob their head in the car. You remember that?
Okay.
The reason why that's funny is because the guy that's playing him is Michael Myers. And he was in a movie in the 90s called Wayne's World. He played Wayne. And there's a scene, it's an iconic scene where him and this guy named Garthison and the rest of their gang is in the car, and they cut on Bohemian Rhapsody and they're playing it and they're bobbing their head in the car. So that's why that part was funny, because Michael Myers was saying.
Gotcha.
Alright, so to end this review, we like to finish it off by discussing, or guessing I should say, what the Rotten Tomato score should be, what we think it should be, and find out what it actually is. And our esteemed colleague is actually not here in town. She's off at college studying, because it's a Saturday night. That's exactly what college students do on a Saturday night. They don't do anything else but study. But we're gonna call her. She knows the Rotten Tomato score, and we're gonna find out what it is.
Hello.
Tori.
Hi.
You're on camera. We're doing a table rant as we speak.
Hello.
And we just reviewed Bohemian Rhapsody, and we're guessing our Rotten Tomato score. I guessed 84%. Mia, what's your guess?
75.
Mia guessed 75%. What's the actual number?
Wait, what did you guess, Chris?
84.
Okay, it is 59.
Hell no. What do you know what the audience review is? Like what fans voted?
So the Metacritic is 48. IMDb is 8.4 out of 10, and 98% of the movie, 98% of the audience liked this movie. So it's kind of mixed.
So critics don't like it, but people like it.
Say what?
Critics don't like it, but the people like it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I mean, I liked it. I mean, I thought I guessed 84% just because I thought that it was good enough for people to like it, but not good enough for the snobbier people to like it. But 59, I felt like was a little too low.
Yeah, I think it's very good. But there's a lot of people that are saying that the movie itself isn't that good, but Rami Malek's performance of Freddie Mercury was good.
He definitely,
they're going for.
he landed the character pretty well.
Yeah.
But well, thanks for the review. I mean, not the review, but the number. To end the review though, we kind of want to just not guess, but tell you if you should go see it in theater, see it at home, wait for it to come out on DVD or Redbox or whatever, or just skip it completely. I think you need to go to the theater to see this because the sound, the grand scheme, the scope of the movie is better. It's better on the big screen. What do you think?
I think it's worth going to see in theaters. I enjoyed it, so I think you should go see it.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth the $4 we spent on an IMAX ticket. But shout out to T-Mobile. I don't want to just say this, but they need to really put a restriction on what you can actually see with that $4 ticket from Adam.
You don't want to say it, so you're just gonna say it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, if they want to send me some bread to point out the fact that people can go see an IMAX movie for $4. I mean, we essentially saw a $20-something movie for $4.
That's a steal.
I mean, yeah, I mean, so if T-Mobile, you want to send me some money for pointing this out, it's whatever. But that's our review. That's our time. For Mia, for Tori, that was a table rant. And I don't have anything to say. You got anything to say?
I want to start saying my own name.
Okay, well, I'll make you say my name later on. And